Hello there and welcome to a special home edition of Localish LA. Today we're focusing on all the people who are helping each other during the coronavirus crisis. It's neighbors helping neighbors, or in many cases, strangers helping strangers. So let's get started with this heartwarming story about a group called the Santa Monica Community Helpers.
I think we're all in a place where we're feeling really isolated. There are so many people out there like me that want to help, that are looking to do something positive. Hi, Elaine.
I'm not doing well for the last 4 months, and I'm scared to death.
My name is Lorena Camarena, and I'm with Santa Monica Community Helpers.
I'm gonna stay over here to protect you.
I started Santa Monica Community Helpers to help seniors and those who are sick get their medication, groceries delivered in this crazy time when they can't do it themselves and shouldn't be out in these populated areas.
Lorena, you're a blessing to me. You're like saving my life. I have no one else.
The more connection we can have, whatever that looks like, whether it's a phone call or a text message, just being able to check in, hey, how are you feeling today? That means so much. If we're servicing the most vulnerable population for this disease or for this virus, then it's really important that we take the precautions to sanitize everything, to not spread any germs to this group of people who we're trying so hard to protect. There are folks that now are homebound and need this service and can pay, and then there are people that can't pay and also can't go out, and we help any one of those groups of people.
It's like an angel from heaven delivered those groceries to me.
It's connecting people like me with seniors like Elaine and building a long-term relationship.
It's a blessing. It's an absolute blessing.
So I basically just made it my mission and help the people that just really couldn't help themselves. I'm a school teacher, a special education teacher in Burbank, and on Friday, March 13th, we got the news about 2:30 that school was going to be closed, and I just knew that there would be people in our neighborhood that would be vulnerable and not be able to get to the stores. We have elderly people, immunocompromised people, single moms with small children, people who've had a preemie. These are different people that I've been able to help. So I basically just made it my mission. I had already been couponing, so I kind of knew about stores and patterns of delivery. And I thought I could kind of use that skill, that knowledge, my car, my time, my gas, and help the people that just really couldn't help themselves. They mostly deliver in person, and a lot of times it's to older people who don't have social media. So it's somebody on their street or somebody in their family who have reached out. So, people have been very suspicious. I'm knocking on the door with a roll of toilet paper, and they're like, go away, like, who are you? I had so many messages. And again, just requests that break your heart. We're judged as a society by how we take care of the most vulnerable. I've met really amazing people, but I think we do need to just get together as a community and a society and realize that this isn't about me and how many things I have in my house or for my family, but that we have every block, every neighborhood has somebody who needs a helping hand.
Thank you to everyone out there who continue to support their neighbors. Now, a lot of local restaurants are struggling during the crisis. Many of them are finding different ways to continue to serve their customers.
We want to serve this community. We want to be here when people kind of need us most. And I think it's also just a battle for survival at this point. And, if we close up now, I don't know that we'd ever be able to reopen. We immediately pivoted to kind of takeout and delivery, especially as kind of a neighborhood spot. I really just wanted to help out the community.
Andrea's an icon in the neighborhood, and I guess we can all feel the strain that her and her team is going through, and we love them. And there's a sense like you want to help each other up, lift each other up. Plus, we love her innovation. I came here once just looking for a bottle of wine, and that's where I got my toilet paper. And then beans and bread and now booze. So it's a one-stop shop. I don't need to go anywhere else.
So I actually just kind of did like a quick Instagram poll to see what people would want, but I got a lot of the same responses. It was a lot of bread, flour, canned goods, dry beans, rice, and then a couple of kind of refrigerated products. So just kind of trying to mix and match and create a diversity of goods that are pretty accessible and that folks can also kind of keep on hand for long periods of time. Especially as kind of a neighborhood spot, I really just wanted to help out the community. This is not profitable for us, but it felt like an immediate need, and that's kind of what we're here for. Providing those kinds of things and creating a culture in which employees stick around and develop relationships with our community, with our neighborhood, know our regulars, have the kinds of relationships that we have with Mike, who comes because he loves seeing the staff that we have here. I just don't see how you stay in this business without that.
Now to a story about a local fashion designer who stopped down production on her clothing line so she could make face masks for anyone who needs them.
We've got the means, we've got the fabric, we've got the people, and people are needing the masks right now. We do 3 different clothing lines here, and we produce for other small businesses and events and fundraisers. So it's in alignment with what we do normally. We just now are focusing only on the face masks and trying to just focus all our attention on getting these to anyone who needs them. We started the idea with reusing a lot of our excess yields and small pieces of fabric just to make some for our staff and our friends and our family. And then when we started to do it, we have so much excess fabric and the capability to keep these ladies sewing and working if we're having a purpose. We've got the means, we've got the fabric, we've got the people, and people are needing the masks right now.
What Stacy Wu has done here in terms of creating a cloth mask that can be produced quickly, amazingly here, about 300 in a day. It certainly is not as good as a surgical grade mask or even not as good as the M95 respirator, but I do think it helps with the particulate debris, or we call it droplets, that are expelled with a cough or a sneeze. We're not supplying the mask to encourage socialization. This is really just an extra layer of protection in addition to washing your hands and an isolation.
We do have to be careful about what we're breathing, and maybe going forward this is something that especially immune compromised people are going to look at as an everyday kind of thing.
We're hoping that people reach out to us that need them for grocery store workers, hospital workers, caregivers at home. Kids, we have kid sizes, so if people want them for their kids or for a doctor's office visit and they need a mask, for anyone that needs them. We feel like this is a small thing that we could possibly do and donate to whoever needs them.
Coming up, we hand things over to Brandy Hitt at home. In the meantime, stay strong, Southern California. We're in this together. And remember, wash your hands.
Running out of stuff to watch at home? Check out Localish TV over the air on 7.2 and on these local cable channels.
Hello everyone, welcome back to this at-home edition of Localish LA. As you know, it is a very trying time right now, but Eyewitness News is here to continue to serve the community. The same is true for students who create Apache News over at Arcadia High School.
With COVID-19 on the loose, remember to stay inside and wash your hands.
Hey everyone, are you surprised to see us again? We are bringing you APN from our homes to your homes.
I hope you are all doing well. I know that these are some tough times, but we are still determined to bring you the latest updates about what is going on and some tips on how to spend your time at home.
Friday that schools got canceled. Thankfully we found out before school ended, so I pretty much grabbed everything that wasn't attached to the classroom and sent the students home with all of that stuff. So all the cameras, and we even sent them home with like desktop iMac computers and everything. So we kind of made teams and kits. And when I started our first Monday meeting, I was like, I have 3 people, then 4, and then most of the class joined. So I was like, okay, everyone's on board, and they knew what stories we needed to do. They knew that we needed to hear from a lot of students that have been affected by this.
Certainly surprised and bummed. As during this time we have multiple big matches.
I remember having a conversation with a teacher and they said the school isn't going to shut down, and then the next day it was announced that we were closing.
When that's the team, you're all kind of heartbroken when we heard the news. We just didn't know how to feel.
I think of that class not as a class, more like a job, because we kind of just doing anything I feel like another news program might do, where we're still getting information. We're still trying to put information out there for students and like teachers and any parents.
With the cancellation of all public events due to COVID-19, we at Apache News have decided to host and stream our very first ever League of Legends online tournament.
Like in our weekly news shows, we're not just providing information on COVID-19, we're also trying to find ways to help our audience get through this. Apache News is that symbol of continuity. We believe that it is our obligation to keep the shows going on no matter what happens. You know, even if school closes down, the show must go on.
Whatever you do, don't lose hope and stay strong, Apaches, because we'll get through this together.
We definitely see some future reporters and anchors there. Now, I will see you every morning from 4 to 7 a.m. weekdays on Eyewitness News. And coming up next, we're going to check in with Colleen Sullivan. Thank you, Southern California. We're all in this together.
Follow Localish on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a special at-home edition of Localish LA. Parents, you already know this. Keeping your children busy at home is hard. But did you know local libraries are open online?
The grass is brown, but if you wait,
talking about the worries that kids might be having right now, and the adults too. Sometimes books can really help with that, especially children's books. So today we're filming a mini story time to put out on social media, our Instagram page and our Facebook page and probably our Twitter page too, just as a way to connect with our community since we're close to the public.
Parents are able just to sit down and enjoy the story time with their children. This is a break for them. Instead of them having to worry to read a story to their children, just sit down and enjoy it with your children.
We have an audience and we do special effects or bubbles. So yes, we are happy to do this project.
And bubbles.
We're just trying to get the word out that our library is always open online through our website, and this is one creative way that we came up with earlier in the week to reach out to our parents and really prompt conversations about patience and maybe talking about the worries that kids might be having right now, and the adults too. Sometimes books can really help with that, especially children's books.
I plant little flower seeds in there.
We're getting so much positive feedback of how much it's helping people to get through their day and maybe take a break from all the crazy news that's going on right now. And a lot of people are scared and struggling, and so we're just trying to help.
Keep watching, and we're all sharing all your worries, and just know you're not alone in anything. It's okay, and we'll all get through this together.
Hi kid, welcome to Kid Time Story Time. I know, you are cooped up at home, you are bored, you want to do something new. Well, what about catching a unicorn? What?
Eileen the Storyteller. Who are you and how did this all come about?
We do something that other people haven't been able to manage, which is make entire hordes of young children be quiet and captivated.
I, Green Bear, am probably the most popular guy here at Kid Time Story Time.
We have literally the largest online read aloud library on YouTube, 800 plus stories. I mean, you name the topic, you know, real world figures and just helping them make sense of the world. That's what we do.
Are we ready to read?
It's really quite extraordinary to be this positive force in the middle of all this chaos. It's on YouTube, right? So it's totally free and anybody can get on it. And we actually have a huge legion. Our first people, our frontline people were kids. We've actually been reading stories to children and bringing books alive for over 5 years. And I love this world because I get to pull in the storytelling and the connecting with people and feeling like you're doing something valuable, and then singing and accents and just making a theatrical thing out of it. So it really blends everything that I've ever done in a way that I feel is serving humanity. But we're unconventional, you know, because we're not an academic group or anything like that. We are just sort of like these rebel readers.
Oh no, what's happening right now?
We try to be very positive. We address issues. You know, whether it be loneliness or the difficulty with friendships or divorce or just growing up and finding who you are. That's a big thing for kids.
Lights, camera, action! Wait a minute.
Oh, Green Bear, we're in the middle of the story.
Yeah. Becoming a Kid Time Storytimer is the easiest, freest thing in the world. You just go to YouTube, pop in Kid Time Storytime, put it all together, put it all apart. No matter how you put it up, our big fat yellow logo will pop up, and you just subscribe and join. Just log on and find me and just click on something and start having a good time, you know, because God knows we have a good time.
I am definitely going to be checking that out really soon. One of the best ways to pass time during self-isolation is to read. But what if you're out of books? Well, the Last Bookstore in downtown LA will send you some.
It's fun, it's exciting, it's a great way to, get off your phone. It's a great way to grow your mind and, leave your video games to the side. Get off social media for a little while. There's a lot of fear right now, and let's replace that with something else.
So we're the Last Bookstore. We're downtown at 5th and Spring in the old Bank District. We've been here for about 10 years now, and we're the largest independent used and new bookstore in California. It's tough, but we're getting by. We're being true to our name and trying to be the Last Bookstore. Well, my wife, it was her idea. She had the idea to give people sort of surprise grab bags based on categories that they like to read or titles that they've read before. So that's what we're doing. We're just trying to curate small collections for people to read while they're stuck at home, and they can drive by and pick them up on the curb, or we can deliver them for them or mail them, whatever they prefer.
I'm going to ask you, what have you read in the past? What authors do you enjoy? Maybe I will try to fish for a couple other genres from you just in case, so that we can provide a good variety. So far we've seen a wide variety of people. It's been really great to see, parents calling in orders or, DMing me for orders. So we've been able to dig through the books that we have in that genre and put books together for, 7 and 8-year-olds. And that's been really fun. I've enjoyed that a lot.
If you've gone through everything you have at home, we have 500,000 more books here that are waiting for you. So we'd love to curate some for you. You can send us your lists of things that you've been wanting to read, and we can see if we have it here, and we can get it to you one way or another.
It's fun, it's exciting, it's a great way to, get off your phone. It's a great way to grow your mind and, leave your video games to the side. Get off social media for a little while. There's a lot of fear right now, and let's replace that with something else.
That's a great idea. Well, now to a local Italian restaurant that, like so many other family-owned restaurants, is struggling during these trying times. But despite that, they are delivering free pizzas to emergency room employees and other frontline workers.
Thank you guys for everything you do.
These people are putting their lives at risk for us. So let them feel good in any way. At least put food on their tables. Who knows if they even have time to go home and cook, right? So it makes a difference to us. We just opened in October, which March started out to be one of our best months yet. It's just been a struggle, just trying to stay alive and just give people food. Not everybody cooks at home. So anything we can do promotionally, as well as, bringing the food to people that need it. So we went to the police department right here, and we fed them 25 pizzas and salads to serve them. And then we just went yesterday to the ER.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you.
I mean, it was life-changing. If I could read you a quote from one of the nurses that actually sent me a message on Instagram, just genuinely thanking us, and said that she could cry to just know that people are thinking about them. We have the food, right? So what better than to bring it to people who are maybe not acknowledged, or don't have time to stop and go get something to eat, or to order in, there's a lot of different cases. So anything that we can do to support the community and the people who are really helping us makes all the difference. There's no money you can put on that. At the end of the day, people like to go to local businesses, right? They like to have fresh food, fresh ingredients. And in order for us to do that, we have to be able to financially be able to support that. But I think it's really about people coming together in a different way and really supporting each other, and to keep ourselves alive. And the only way we can do that is by continuing to serve them in any way we can.
That is wonderful to see. If you would like to support the restaurant, you can call them and sponsor their next hospital delivery. Straight ahead, we're going to hand things over to Mark Cota-Robles at home for more Localish LA. Hang in there, everyone.
Getting bored of the same old stuff on social media? Well, check out abc7.com/localish instead.
Welcome back to a special at-home edition of Localish LA. With all the closures occurring due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are missing visiting some of our favorite spots like the LA Zoo. Well, it turns out some of the animals at the zoo are missing us too.
First thing we thought of is we need to protect our staff, and then we thought about we need to protect animals that might be vulnerable. We have some animals that could possibly be susceptible to COVID-19, like our great apes, because they're so closely related to us. We're not interacting with them closer than 6 feet. So we have implemented basically the same kind of social distancing that we do with humans. It's been very interesting to see the behavior of the animals. Animals that we think usually don't really pay that much attention to the crowds, they all of a sudden are, if you're in the public space, they'll come up to the fence and be looking at you and sometimes even vocalizing. So it's completely different than the behavior we see when there's crowds in the zoo. Everybody is getting the same care and the same amount of enrichment. Their routine is largely the same. Their feeding schedule is the same. They go out on the habitat at the same time and for the same amount of time. Some of our staff has had a little bit more time to do some of the training with the animals because they don't have to do public presentations. Now that we're kind of at a operating mode, the animals really seem to miss the people. It's been really interesting.
It's great to see the animals are still being so well cared for. The Los Angeles Zoo will remain closed throughout the duration of the Safer at Home order. Hey, thanks for joining us for this special at-home edition of Localish LA. Stay safe, everyone.
Don't miss an all-new episode of Localish LA on Sunday at 6:30 on ABC7. Or click on the subscribe button and watch Localish LA anytime.